and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video on how to stop the pain cycle and enjoy your music again. I'm Jennifer Roig-Francolí, and I'm just delighted to have you here. If you haven't met me yet, just very briefly, I'm a professional violinist, have been my whole life, and I'm also a certified Alexander Technique teacher. I am the creator of the Art of Freedom for Conscious Living and Masterful Artistry. And I specialize in helping musicians. I've been coaching them and teaching at universities and pretty much all over the world for a long time. I started in 2007 coaching musicians at the Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music shortly after that. And so my specialty is really to help musicians of all kinds overcome pain, tension, performance anxiety, and just really love the day-to-day practicing and performing that we do. And I really just want you to have a healthy, happy, balanced life and abundant success as a musician, regardless of your skill level. So let's dive in, and I just want to make sure that you can see that I'm here. I see that Kay is here. Thank you so much for commenting. Hi, Kay. And I am just on Facebook today, so I should be able to see who's commenting. If you just want to say hello and maybe tell me what your instrument is, that would be great, because these live videos, I find them to be very fun. I enjoy doing these, but it's especially fun when I get to see, where people are from, what their instruments are, and so we can make this interactive. And Bethany is here. Wonderful. Hey, Bethany. Bethany says, hi, finally getting heavy into violin and doing so much better with tension. Excellent. I am so happy to hear that, Bethany. Bethany has done a little bit of work with me, but even just a little bit goes a long way. So I am so happy to get that feedback, Bethany. Yay! Okay, wonderful. And again, if you're here, you're watching, I want to know, just say hi. And also, I'm really very interested in knowing what's going on for you. If you're here, you probably have some pain issues going on. Maybe you have been experiencing an injury that's hard to recover from, or maybe you just want to prevent pain, and that's the best. And I can absolutely help you do that. So let's dive in. And I just want to first off start by saying I think that far too many musicians are in pain. It's every time I go live, I remember this study in Australia, and I know I've mentioned it before, but a recent study that quoted or discovered that 84% of musicians in the study, orchestral musicians, reported that they have pain or have had pain, anxiety, or depression. 84% of orchestral musicians. And I bet you people in Australia are happier than many other places in the world. So I'm sure that's representative of everywhere. I'm in the United States. I've been performing around and with and in orchestras myself, working with orchestral musicians, so I know that at least 84% of musicians do fit into the category that I just described in the United States. So whatever the numbers are, I think we can all agree that far too many musicians are in pain. And they also discovered in that study that it's hard for musicians to talk about it. And when I coach my musicians, I teach group classes all online. I've been doing this online since 2013 or something. I love teaching online. But when I talk to my students, they tell me, and it's so nice to have a group of other people going through the same thing, but they tell me that in the music world, it's almost like a stigma. And I wonder if anybody here can relate to that. Just type in the comments if you can relate. People don't share. Musicians are not good about sharing that they're in pain. They don't want to expose that, especially professionals, because there's a sense of shame even that you might have some pain, and people tend to think that people are going to think less of them or that they're doing something wrong. And I'm here to just tell you that you are not alone. Even if everybody you're playing with seems to be like they're fine, they're probably not. And so we need to be talking about this issue more. So If you've got pain or tension and you want to just expose some of it in the comments here, it would be helpful for other people as well to see that they're not alone. So if you're like most musicians and many musicians in pain, you've probably tried a lot of things to help yourself with the pain. I actually went to a master class once a long time ago with Nadja Salerno-Sonnenberg, and I was in the audience. I was already an Alexander technique teacher, and she took questions, and I asked her, how do you prevent pain with your incredible career? You're playing a lot. She said she ices her arms every day. Now, I don't know if she still does that, but it sounded like that was her regular way of dealing with pain. And I think that's great that she has found a way to deal with that. Personally, I would not want to be icing my arms every day. I want a way to prevent pain, stay out of pain, that allows me total freedom of movement. And icing is painful itself. Anybody ever do that? It's like, I don't want to be icing my arms. I just want to feel good without the ice, right? I hope you're all with me there. Just give me a thumbs up if you can relate and you don't want to be icing your arms every day. So anyway, that's one thing you might have tried. You may have gone to the doctor, gotten a diagnosis. Maybe you have gone to the chiropractor. You've been doing physical therapy. You get massages. I don't know how many professional musicians I've talked to throughout my career who just take it as a matter of course that they, every week or every few weeks, they go to their chiropractor or their massage therapist and they get their treatment. It's just like taken for granted that they have to do that to stay out of pain. It's not necessary. And sure, massage feels good. Why not? But there are ways to actually prevent pain and feel good when you're playing by yourself using your mind. And the mind is way more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And what I teach, the Art of Freedom method based on the Alexander technique, is a way to empower you to take care of your own well-being so that you're not dependent on going to this specialist or that therapist. You don't even have to do, I mean, there are some exercises, of course, for some people sometimes that are really beneficial, but you can actually take really, really good care of yourself without all the stretching and exercising that you might think that you have to be doing. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the way I help people in a moment. And by the way, I encourage you to stay towards the end of this broadcast if this topic interests you, because I'm going to be sharing a special offer with everybody at the end and a special bonus that I want to give you just for watching this video. So a little carrot to help you stay towards the end, okay? So basically, if you're in pain, you've been injured, or you have a lot of tension that just causes you to have a sore neck or sore shoulders, sore arms. I've worked with tons of people with tendonitis and carpal tunnel and those things. If you have those things, you might be thinking that there's something wrong with you, or you might think that you need to be doing something different. Now, yes, you need to be doing something different, because otherwise you're just going to keep banging your head against the wall indefinitely with this pain. But no, there's nothing wrong with you. And actually, Alexander always said, I love this quote from F.M. Alexander. He said, "Pain is your friend." Now that may sound crazy if you're in pain, because pain does not seem very friendly and it hurts, right? So how can pain be your friend, right? Well, pain is actually you. Let that sink in. Pain is you. It's your body giving your brain information. It's not that you have a bad arm or a bad knee or a bad back, because that's you and you are not bad. It's like a paradigm shift that I'm encouraging you to make. We think of pain as something that's wrong, that's not us, or that it's like a body part down there and there's something wrong with that body part. But pain is just messages that your body is sending your brain. Basically, it's saying, Hey friend, hello, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you that you need to do something different because what you've been doing isn't working for this body. It's going against the natural design of this mind-body self. What if you could listen to pain that way and actually appreciate that your pain is trying to get your attention to do something different? And I am here to tell you that doing something different is not more exercises or different exercises. It's not going to a different therapy, trying this or that new thing. Now, going to the doctor and getting a professional medical opinion, getting a diagnosis is always recommended, of course. But once you have the diagnosis, what if you could do something different by thinking differently? Maybe this is a radically strange thought, but actually, your thoughts create your experience. And sure, you may have had an accident or stepped on a nail. You know, there can be external circumstances that cause harm to your body, obviously. And yet, what really causes the most harm, well, I don't know if it's the most harm, but what prevents healing or slows it down significantly is when you react to the pain in a way that prolongs it, it exacerbates it. That's the pain cycle that I'm talking about that I want to help you out of, because this video is about how to stop the pain cycle. So here's what actually happens, and this is the pain cycle I'm talking about. So something happens, right? Maybe you're over practicing, you've practiced too long, you maybe did 3 rehearsals in a row of really challenging stuff and you weren't maybe really rested or taking care of yourself, maybe you're exhausted or super stressed, and a lot of different circumstances came together, and after you finished playing those many hours, suddenly you're in pain. Maybe you have a new shooting pain down your arm, or maybe it's just old back pain that you've always had. I have a history of back pain, and for years, throughout my childhood, teenage years, young adult years, I had chronic lower back pain because there's actually a structural anomaly in my family, and many people in my immediate family have needed back surgeries because of it. So I kind of expect that I have the same thing, and maybe, so that type, you can have a chronic pain or you can have an acute pain that suddenly comes on. Whatever the reason, something happens. There's a triggering event, right? You're with me? Then what happens? Your body is like, oh my gosh, something happened. Let's send the alarm to the brain so that Jennifer can do something different and take care of us down there, right? So you experience the pain. Your brain picks up the signals from your body, and then you interpret those signals in some way, and then you probably have an instinctive reaction against the feeling. You may go into a startle protective response, a fight, flight, freeze response. That's just normal. That's the instinct that we have as animals to respond to something that is potentially life-threatening, really, because often we don't know at first what that triggering event means. If you're in the dark and something bangs into you, you don't know what it is. That's scary. Who knows? That could be a predator about to eat you. Right? So there's an instinctual animal response that we have to pain, which is there to protect us. But again, it's like the alarm signals. And then we are thinking beings, we human beings. That's where we're different from the animals, as far as I understand. We get to start thinking about the pain, and we get to make a conscious choice about how we respond to the pain. Now, most of the time, we might not be that present, and we may continue to feed the instinctive reaction, the startle response against the pain. So we can have negative thoughts and emotions that actually reject the pain. And remember, I said pain is you, right? Your body is you. It's not bad. But we can interpret the pain as bad, and we can interpret the place in our body as bad, but that is a separative response. That's a fear reaction, and that's a kind of like, ooh, there's something bad there. I want to get rid of it. And that's a recipe for hopping into the vicious pain cycle and making it continue. So you have negative thoughts or emotions trying to reject the pain, and then there's a movement. That's the next step that happens. There's some kind of a movement that we take consciously or unconsciously, usually unconsciously. But then later, the more we think about it, the more conscious it becomes. There's a movement to do something about it in an attempt to fix it or change it, deny it, mask it, run away from it, or fight the experience of pain. Those fear-based reactions, you may not experience them as fear-based. It may be like you might feel angry, like you're going to go do something about it, or you may just feel like that's what you're supposed to do. So you go schedule all these appointments to go do these therapies about it, to get other people to help you with it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sometimes that's exactly what you need to do. But what I'm saying is that the step that we take is to do something about it. There's a movement to do something to fix it. And when you do those things in that kind of automatic, startled way, you're actually going to feed the pain, because you're staying in that cycle, and then you're going to repeat that cycle endlessly, or you're going to slowly step out of it. Like you go get the massage and you start to feel better, so you start to think differently. But then when you get home, maybe you bump your arm or your back starts to hurt again a couple of days later, and then you start thinking those thoughts again that feed the reactive emotions. More thoughts, more negative thoughts and emotions. Those reject the pain. You keep trying to fix it, change it. Basically, you're trying to fix yourself and change yourself. And that just prolongs the whole experience. So something needs to interrupt that pain cycle, right? And those therapies, those therapeutic processes, acupuncture, massage, chiropractic, they all have their place and they can be very beneficial. But they're all about somebody else helping you to interrupt the pain cycle. And it's not necessarily something that you can do on your own. Like you can't give yourself a chiropractic adjustment unless maybe you're a very skilled chiropractor yourself. But even them, I think they probably go to other chiropractors. Same with massage. You kind of need another person for that. Physical therapists, you probably don't know how to treat yourself, so you become kind of dependent on someone out there to fix you. But the thing is, you're not learning how to fix the part of the pain cycle that is caused by your own mind. So it's much slower and more difficult to heal that way. And very often, if you go outward to get someone to fix you, that pain, even if it does go away temporarily, it's very likely to come back sooner or later, either in the same place or somewhere else in your body. Because the original pain, unless you stepped on a nail, of course, and I hope you don't step on a nail, but the original pain that we were talking about was caused by an attitude and an approach to your music making that caused you to play and move in a certain way that almost 100% for sure had too much tension. So here's where the Art of Freedom method, my work based on the Alexander technique, can come in. Because my job is to help musicians to become more objective about what they're actually doing. Like, what are they actually how are they actually thinking when they are playing their instruments? What emotions, what's the attitude that you're bringing? If you have 3 rehearsals in a row and you know that it's going to be long and it's going to be sore, you need to have a very clear, strong way to stay centered, calm, and at ease so that you're allowing your energy to flow with ease as you're playing. Because if you get caught up into what you're doing and you're using too much effort for all that time, then forget it. You're probably going to be sore later and you're going to be more prone to injury. So what if you could learn how to interrupt this chain of events that I've just described, the pain cycle, and so that you could actually take charge. You could be more objective about what you're actually doing. And then once you have more information about what you're actually doing, most people really don't know what they're doing. For example, if you're a violinist, I'm a violinist. If you're a violinist and a violist, you probably have more tension than necessary between your head, neck, chin, shoulder area, because there are very, very, very few violinists and violists that I've seen throughout my life who do not put more tension here than necessary. And that's just the place that we're prone to that, but that's just where an overall tension pattern shows up. So where you're experiencing excess tension, maybe your jaw clenches, or if you're a student, your teacher probably tells you over and over and over again to relax your grip, or to relax your jaw, or to fix your posture, or, but you try to fix it and you think you're fixing it, but then a few minutes later, the same thing happens again and the tension is back. That's because we go through life all day long carrying around more tension than necessary. And that buildup of tension is going to localize in certain areas of your body. And if you don't check that tension, if you don't learn how to prevent it and release it and play with more ease and flow, that is going to end up being painful after a while, sooner or later down the road. So you want to know how to prevent that by allowing effortless ease to happen inside of your mind, body, self. And if you've already been injured, you really need to learn how to not keep practicing the way you did before, because the old approach was what caused your pain. The old way of thinking and moving, your old habits of approaching your instrument, lifting it, playing it, how you lift the bow, how you approach the string, how you stretch your fingers, pianists, how you stretch, what you do with your back, what you do with your arms. I work with all different instruments, so I've seen all kinds of things, but no matter what your instrument is, I guarantee you are bringing more tension than is necessary to the task of playing your instrument. But you're probably not aware of most of it. You're not aware of what's causing it. And you could figure this out yourself, but it's really challenging to become really objective about yourself. So there's a quote that I love, another quote from F.M. Alexander. He said, because what I just said may sound daunting if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to change everything about my instrument playing and how I hold it. No. This is actually super simple and incredibly easy. This quote that I love from F.M. Alexander says, you can change the habits of a lifetime in an instant if you use your brains. Then the last part of that quote, which people don't tend to quote as often, is, but nobody wants the discipline. I have found this quote to be 100% true. And I know how, and I've seen it happen with myself and countless students that I've taught the way I teach too, the things that I teach. I've seen it over and over and over again. You can change all of those habits that are causing your pain in an instant. You can do it instantly with constructive thinking in the way that I can teach you. It's easy. It's incredibly simple. However, what's challenging is to remember to do it and to be able to do it in all kinds of situations so that you can let go and do your constructive thinking and access ease and flow, even when people in the front row keep coughing and it's annoying, or the conductor of your orchestra is suddenly doing everything at double speed in the performance and you never rehearsed it that fast. How do you not react to that by adding tension to yourself? That's what the Art of Freedom method, the Alexander technique, principles is all about. I'm going to give you a third and last quote from F.M. Alexander, another favorite. I got several favorites here. Alexander said, sorry, just need a bit of water. One sec. Excuse me. Alexander said, quote, "Mine is a method for the control of human reaction." Now that's huge. How often do you find yourself reacting to triggers throughout the day? Maybe somebody close to you is chewing too loud and it drives you crazy, right? Or maybe your kid has left his socks on the floor in the same place for the 20th time and you've had to say it 20 times. Or maybe you're in traffic and it's just so slow and the person in front of you isn't paying attention because they're on their phone. I mean, there are endless things that can, or even just the phone ringing suddenly and it's really loud, that can trigger a startle response. All of those things, those types of things, trigger a startle and increase your level of tension. Now, animals can be startled and they shake it off and they go on. They let it go. Humans, we're not so good at letting things like that go. So having tools, really clear tools that allow you to be more objective about what's actually happening. You get to notice when you're triggered and you get to link up how you're thinking with what's going on in your body and your emotions all together as a whole. When you are more aware of what's actually happening, then you can consciously choose to stop that cycle and think differently to get a different result. Because what you think is what you get, and what you focus on, you get more of. I'm just full of quotes today, but I don't know where those are from. So truly, 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 this is the command center up here. You have so much control over your experience. You probably have no idea. So that's what my work is all about. And I've helped just countless musicians recognize that they have control over getting themselves out of pain. I just wanted to share, I'm going to tell you in a moment about this offer that I mentioned earlier, and if you stay to the end, there's a special bonus I want to give you just for watching the video if you decide that you want to go in this direction. But I thought I would experiment with, actually I don't want to experiment, I might mess up the video. I was going to share my screen, but I've never done that before, so I don't want to lose you. So what I'm going to do though is I just want to read. My students send me lovely notes and messages all the time about how their lives have been changed dramatically from this work. And so I just want to read you experiences from two of my very recent students, one who is actually still my student, just so that you can see what's possible. And these people are not unusual. These may sound like atypical results because they're pretty miraculous and extreme, but they're actually not so unusual. My students typically get really amazing results. So I want to read to you what I posted recently in my Sunday Success Spotlight post. This is a post that I put on Facebook every Sunday, highlighting one of my students. Maria Crosby is a professional cellist in the Kansas City Symphony, and she recently wrote this, quoting her now. "For many, many years, I viewed tension as my main enemy. I felt it was somehow at the root of my problems, from technical limitations with the cello to performance anxiety, from physical pain to depression, and I committed myself wholeheartedly to finding a way out. But despite a huge investment of energy and money and a host of different strategies for overcoming these issues, I found myself getting worse, not better. I just couldn't see that the never-ending struggle to fix myself was actually making me sicker. Jennifer offered me a way to step out of this vicious cycle and walk off the battlefield. Learning the art of freedom has been and continues to be, although she's not my student anymore. Actually, she's not my student anymore because she decided to train to become an Alexander Technique teacher. So I'm actually super proud of Maria. And she continues to say, learning the art of freedom has been the most rewarding journey of my lifetime. My life has improved in immeasurable and unexpected ways, and my focus has shifted away from unhappily trying to fix myself to finding immense joy and gratification in the moment-to-moment process of transformation. Thank you, Jennifer, for this most precious and invaluable gift. And if you want to see Maria's picture, which is really lovely, I wish I could show it to you, but you can see it on my timeline. You just scroll down a little bit. It's from last Sunday. And then I want to share another just short little success story from a violist who is still my student. And this one really, it just is so heartwarming to me because this is a story from Kalindi True. And I'm just so excited about where she's taking this work because for literally decades she was in pain. And when she found me, she was literally about to quit her performance career. She's a professional musician also. I do have plenty of amateur students, by the way, but Kalindi is a professional violist. And here's what she said after playing 3 Easter services. She said, quote, "I don't want to brag, but I had my first ever pain and anxiety-free performance yesterday. I played 3 Easter worship services at a local Lutheran church. I had several solos and was mostly improvising the entire time. I literally forgot to be nervous. I did have some tension in my playing, but not to the point of pain. No heating pad afterwards, no painkillers, no ouch. I haven't been able to say that in decades. Constructive thinking really works." That's what Kalindi said. So I just wanted to share that with you because you need to know that there are all these musicians in pain, and the typical wisdom is go to a specialist, go get a massage, go to a chiropractor, and maybe even get surgery, God forbid. And sometimes that's necessary, of course, and you want to again you want to get an accurate diagnosis from a medical practitioner. But most of the time, you can learn how to get out of pain yourself. There are no guarantees, of course. I never guarantee that my process is going to work, but I actually offer a 100% money back guarantee because it does work. So if you decide, now I'm going to tell you about this program that I have. If you were to decide to go for it and just try this strange thing that Jennifer's telling me about, it's called the Art of Freedom Method. If you were to decide to try the program I'm going to tell you about, there is a 100% money back guarantee. I call it an honest try offer, where you give it your best shot, I give you my best teaching, and if you don't get value, I give you your money back. So let me tell you, before I tell you about this Jumpstart program that is coming up very soon, I just want to hop over to the comments and see if anybody else has commented here. And please do put in the comments what your instrument is, or just say hello so that I can say hello back. Kay said, yes, Kay had pain. She says, I didn't even admit it to myself for many years. I think you're not unusual, Kay. I think people are afraid of pain, understandably, because it hurts. So very often people try to deny or mask the pain. Problem with that is that it makes it worse because you're not really going to the root of the problem and solving it. Mayumi, hello Mayumi. Mayumi says, I don't like icing, I don't like cold. I'm with you. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. So let's find another way, okay? Bethany says, I'm recovering from a neck spasm and can now play fiddle without pain because of your teachings. Thank you, Bethany, for mentioning that. I'm so excited. And for anybody watching, I want you to know that Bethany worked with me for just a very short period. And here she is saying, I can now play the fiddle without pain because of what she learned from me. That is so, so, so heartwarming. I'm so happy to know that, Bethany. So let me just tell you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time telling you all about this, but I want to make sure everybody watching knows that I have a program. It's called the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart program. I offer it periodically, but right now I am having a special pain edition for musicians in pain or musicians with a lot of tension who want to prevent pain. That would also be a great reason to take this course. You do not want to be playing in a way that's going to cause pain down the road, even if you're not in pain now. And if you're a professional and you don't have that much work, now is a really, really good time to be taking care of those underlying issues so that when you get back to having lots of gigs again, you feel like in control of your well-being and you're not thrown off by suddenly having a lot of gigs again, hopefully soon. So the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart program is my 30-day program, but I'm actually giving 2 extra free weeks to everybody who is doing the special pain edition right now. And there are 3 ways that I teach people in this program that make it just great. People get great results from this. You get a private coaching session with me where I'm trained, I'm highly skilled to see exactly what you're doing. Some people think I'm reading their minds. I'm not really, but I'm very skilled to observe extremely subtle changes in how you're moving. And I can help you link it up with how you're thinking and make very practical suggestions on how to think and move in a way that is going to release your tension instead of increasing it. And it's going to help you relieve your pain. So you get that private coaching session, which is totally personalized feedback. And then you'll have my self-study course. It's a 3-week, really simple but very important self-study course that all my students start with. You get a very strong foundation in the principles of the Alexander technique and my Art of Freedom method. So you learn those things, and from the very beginning, you know exactly what to do to practice every day. And I guarantee, that's why I give you the 100% money back guarantee. If you follow my instructions and spend between 5 and 10 minutes a day, like very, very, very little time, doing what I call awareness etudes. Those are derived from something called Primal Alexander, which is a hands-free method of teaching the Alexander technique developed by Mia Morales. I've had more than 5 years of training in hands-free Alexander technique online. So again, it's a whole different way of learning the Alexander technique that I've incorporated into the Art of Freedom method. So you get the self-study course that teaches you exactly what to do from day 1. You'll start noticing a shift right away from day 1 when you start doing those awareness etudes. And you do them every day, and you will guaranteed get positive results or your money back. Then the 3rd way you learn is with community. I have a private clients-only Facebook group. It's very active. We have a lot going on there every day, all week. There's stuff happening. And then we have live group classes. So there's really a lot. There's a wealth of content and things that you can take advantage of in the Jumpstart program. But honestly, you don't even need to devote a lot of time and energy. You just need to make a firm commitment to devote at least 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Really in the beginning, it's only like 3 minutes twice a day. If you do those awareness etudes, you get your result. You get your positive results, and you will start feeling better. And you're gonna learn how to play better because you'll be bringing less tension into your music making. And in the live group classes, there is a masterclass section in the class where you get lots of individualized attention from me. There's Q&A time, so you can be asking questions in the Facebook group, in the live group classes. There's a lot, but you don't even have to spend a lot of time if you're busy or if you can't make the live classes. They're all recorded. I'm just saying, if you want to get out of pain or you want to prevent pain and you want to learn how to play with effortless freedom, try this. And we're starting next week. So this Friday, the 16th, is the last day to register. I strongly recommend that if you are at all curious about this, if you think this might be for you, just message me like right now. Get on Messenger, send me a message and ask me, like, just tell me you're curious and we can have a little chat, see if this program would be right for you, and I can send you the details. All right. You can also email me at jennifer@artoffreedom.me. That's .me. You can email me there. I said there would be a special bonus for anybody who signs up this week to join the Jumpstart Special Pain Edition. If you register by Friday, which is the last day to register, then I will give you a free course, a free little mini online course, which is again very powerful. It's called the Musician's Mindset Power Toolkit. It will give you a really strong foundation and a little daily practice that can help you with performance anxiety, and just help you to be more calm and centered. People have found the toolkit really, really useful. So I'm going to give that to you for free. That's a $200 course right there. So all you need to do is message me or send me an email. Tell me you want to know about the Jumpstart program and mention this video and the special bonus, and you will get your free online course when you sign up for the Jumpstart program. Okay, so before I leave, I want to just hop over again here and thank everybody for being here. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, comments, please use the comments, and I always check them later. I'm happy to answer any questions. Kay says it works for both physical and mental or emotional pain miraculously. Yes. Thank you, Kay. Kay is another success story. Like, seriously, she had pain. Her doctors told her she would always have pain, and she can play now pain-free. It's really incredible. It's all in how you choose to respond to what's actually happening. So thank you for being here with me today. If you know any musicians in pain who could benefit from a process that's simple, it works, and you want to help them out of pain, please feel free to share this video anywhere with anybody. It's public and to be spread widely, because I want to help as many musicians as possible. This works, and I hope to hear from you soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.